All right, so my name is Christopher Daniel De Leon, also known as ThrashHeavy amongst the competitive scene. And yeah, people just call me Chris. You know, you don't have to say my full name like that, but yeah, just Chris works. So I mean, ever since I was a kid, I won't say my age, but it's back in the 80s, of course, and I got into Nintendo at a very young age. You know, Mario, Duck Hunt, the perfect combo, right? From there, I've just been playing ever since. You know, it all started as a child, and then as I got older, I realized that like I still like playing these games, and then I noticed that there's competitive scenes for these, right? I started joining these competitions, these tournaments, met a lot of good people that knew what they were doing as opposed to me at the time where I didn't really know what was going on. And it was that little spark of, I guess, interest that got me really into it. From there, every year since then, I want to say since 2008 is when I started competing. That's when I really wanted to go and push myself in terms of becoming, I guess, a little bit more professional. And yeah, like it's kind of like addicting for me at least, because I'm still playing it to this day. We're like in 2025. And yeah, to this day, here at the Gamers Expo, I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do amongst the other competitors. So, yeah. It's life. I mean, you know, not so much to say it in a way where it's time wasted, but more so like time invested. And from there, I've seen myself expand as a competitor, you know? And it's that addiction that I kind of have that would be kind of similar to like athletes or somebody that has that passion for something, right? So for me, it's not necessarily like a bad vice, but I'd say it's a vice because I can't live without it in a sense. If it were to go away, sure, I'd be able to be, you know, fine, right? But it's definitely something that I'd be sad about just because of how much I've invested time into it and met so many cool people amongst the competitive scene as well. And just everyone else that loves gaming, you know, it's something for me at least that holds a high memory for me, so. That's actually a pretty cool question just because I've actually been able to be a part of the Gamers Expo in previous years. Ramsey Ramirez, of course, like we all know, he's the mastermind behind this, right? He knows about my upbringing in the competitive scene. And from there, he's actually asked me to give word to other competitors doing speeches and whatnot. So of course I'd say yes, right? Because I love talking, right? But on top of that, like I also like spreading the knowledge in terms of like how to get into it in case someone's curious about it, or if people tend to be a little bit scared, you know, of trying to set foot in this, just because anytime you try something new where there's people that know what they're doing, it can be kind of scary, right? So I tend to kind of like tell people, hey, you got to start somewhere, right? Like those losses will eventually count for wins and all that. But I guess in a sense, I'm just using my past experience to kind of like uplift others to kind of get there in the same way, so yeah.